Here in the UK, millions of small plastic pellets have been discovered on a beach near Portsmouth on the south coast. It's not clear where the microplastics have come from.
The world's oceans are rapidly becoming one big plastic trash heap. In fact, experts estimate that they contain in total something along the lines of 5 trillion pieces of plastic, weighing a grand sum of 250,000 tons.
Of pieces of plastic are causing thousands of sea creatures to suffer. That's the state of the world's oceans right now. Garbage patches, and one of the biggest is in the Pacific. The pockets of trash span the ocean from North America to Japan.
It's estimated that human beings are now producing 300 million tonnes of plastic every single year. 8 million tonnes of that finishes up in the ocean, and 50% of the plastic that's produced is used just once before being dumped again. Evidently, human beings really are addicted to...
This is not a joke. Water pollution, plastic waste, and overfishing. These are just some of the results of our crude actions.
Our oceans and seas have been polluted because of our careless doings as humanity. The water pollution that we have caused damaged the habitats of marine life and at times completely destroyed it. All of us are at fault for this, especially the pollution of the seas and oceans. And in one of those oceans, particularly in the Pacific Ocean, there's a patch called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. As part of it weighs 79,000 metric tons, most of that is classified as plastic. This is also what starts pollution, and is currently one of the biggest environmental concerns we have today. But where exactly do most of our trash end up?
The ocean. Every year, more than 1 million marine species suffocate and die from harmful chemicals and plastic. It is highly possible that by the year 2030, we may have more plastic in our oceans than fish. Plastic in our oceans affect creatures large and small, from whales to dolphins to tiny seahorses that live in the coral reefs. These delicate creatures mistake plastic items as food, causing them their slow and painful death. An example of plastic waste affecting creatures are the sea turtles that die from suffocation by plastic wrapped around its neck. Overfishing and poaching endanger species or sometimes even cause extinction all throughout the oceans. These affect marine life in a detrimental way, often causing harm to the ecosystem of the area they live in. These decrease the population of a species being poached or overfished to the point of endangerment or even extinction, like the vaquita fish that become endangered because of it.
It's because of our careless and improper waste disposal. In simpler words, littering.
We may still have time, but damage is still and has already been done. Fish species like the blackfin cisco, the blue walleye, to name a few, have gone extinct in recent times. So because of that, it is inevitable that these plastic waste would be eaten by the marine life. Marine life that are fished and end up to our grocery stores. Fishes that we buy to be cooked that become our meal to be eaten by us.
But where do these plastic waste come from and how do they arrive in the ocean? Here I am with Sir Harry. How do you think plastic waste ends up in the ocean?
When this trash flows with the flood, of course, this flood will go to the ocean. That's why plastics ends up in the ocean.
So because of the misdiscipline or because of the misconduct of some people who are continuously throwing those plastic in the river, that is the reason why the plastic is polluting the river or the water.
What can you do to reduce plastic waste in the ocean?
Well, number one thing that we can help to reduce plastic in the ocean is number one, instead of using plastic bags during groceries, we use reusable eco bags so that every time we go to the groceries, we use this eco bag so that we lessen the amount of plastic that we'll be using.
So it can be reduced by applying the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. So that is the most important remedy for in order not to pollute the river or the water or the ocean. So we're going to apply the 3 R's, as I have said: reuse, reduce, and recycle.
So, what can you do?
You see, there's nothing much we can do ourselves about the pollution around the world. But that's only if you don't invest yourself into doing anything. You can be part of the solution. You can be part of the solution only when you take action. If you want to be part of it, you must invest yourself. Go all in. There's only yes or no. So, are you in or are you not? But before you think about it, let me tell you about RPS.
Reduce, participate, and spread. Just remember these three. It's as easy as that. Reduce. Every day, millions of household items are used only once, and then disposed into the trash can to be dumped into a landfill. These single-use items are a result of corporate greed to feed on people's wallets, such as plastic bottles that we buy from grocery stores, malls, and even small cafeterias. A simple way around this is to buy your own durable and reliable flask and refill your bottle once it's empty. With the used water bottles that you used, collect them and give them to your local environmental preservation agency. In our case, the students of Far Eastern Private School donate them to BeeA'h, which is a national environmental preservation company. But if for any reason that your local environmental preservation agency do not accept water bottles, just dispose them into the recycling bin. Just remember this: use less, not more. Reusability and reliability is what you should be looking for. Participate. Not only should we all try to reduce the amount of single-use items in our life, but we should also try to participate in local events, environmental clubs, movements that wish to change the world into a cleaner one. The best we can do is act upon the problem. And nothing better than to act upon the problem other than to spread. Spread awareness about the problem. The second best thing that you can do is to spread the word. Tell your friends, share your classmates or colleagues, and the best way to spread awareness is to engage in conversations.
When humanity grew and industrialized all around the world within the past century, we have had the greatest technological advancements throughout the history of mankind. Despite the amazing discoveries, ingenious creations, and countless of life-changing inventions we've created, we didn't take into account about the ever-growing consequences of the byproducts of our own inventions. We've always had this mindset: out of sight, out of mind, that there's always a place to put all our waste into. The life of the sea is being threatened because of it. With how we've treated our oceans, and how we thought that water is infinite, we've lost the respect for it. It's been taken for granted. And remember, we only have one.